Welcome and good afternoon to our guest today, Mr. Shuib. From all of us, first year Bachelor Public Relations student at UNIZA, and today, Mr. Shuib, I will ask you a question about public relations first, which is divided into 7 questions, and about your culture, which is Pakistan, right? Okay.
Yes, my country is Pakistan.
I will ask you 8 questions about your culture without wasting any more time. So we continue to your question, your interculture, right? Your culture.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Aku pause. Okay. First question is about non-verbal communications. Personal space. I like to start with non-verbal communications in Pakistan. How important is personal space during conversations or social gathering?
Or sorry, what?
I will repeat.
What was the thing that you said?
In Pakistan, how important is personal space during convocations or social gathering?
I think personal space is important in every country. It's like a universal thing, and yes, it would change from region to region. Maybe somewhere you can stand a bit closer, or when you're having a conversation with someone, and in other regions you'd have to stand a bit further away. But overall, I think it's not just Pakistan, but the personal space matters everywhere, and you have to respect it. And you could clearly see that you're disturbing someone's personal space if you're having a conversation and they just step back. Like after a couple of sentences, they step back, or that they have their feet turned away, and it means that they want to escape. They're being disturbed, right? So it is important to respect everyone's personal space when you're having a conversation.
Okay. For next questions, it's about non-verbal communication too, but it's touching. What about physical touch? For example, is it common to shake hands or hug when greeting someone in Pakistan?
So yes, it is very common in Pakistan. Shaking hands with someone and even hugging them out is very common. So it's like people have it's usually in the Muslim countries men happen to meet with each other like that. But again, it doesn't happen with women, right? We can't do it with women.
Yeah.
Women are allowed to do it with women, right? So this is important, and we respect that in every Muslim country. And I think in Pakistan, yes, guys do shake hands. We greet each other with a hug. That's common.
Oh, nice. Now for next questions about eye contact and silence. How is eye contact perceived in Pakistan? Okay. I can continue.
How is it perceived?
Perceived, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to answer it, or you're going to complete the question?
I want to continue.
Of course, please.
Okay. How is eye contact perceived in Pakistan culture, and what about silence during conversations?
Okay, this is an interesting one. I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah.
So if I'd say eye contact is an important thing. It builds confidence when you're talking to someone, and it wouldn't be just specific to a region. It would be everywhere. Like, since these nonverbal cues are equally important in every part of the world, I'd say. And having a good eye contact while you're having a conversation is very good, but you can't just keep staring at someone. It would definitely get them intimidated, right? You can't do that. And as for the silence, I believe silence is very important when it comes to having good conversations. It is very important because you need to listen to the other person more than you say, and then that gathering with the other person would be regarded, you'd be regarded as a good conversationalist, although you haven't said anything. And you'd find a lot of people talk about this, a lot of writers talk about this as well. That if you're having a conversation and you say the least amount of words, but you know how to pose your question strategically, and so the other person keeps talking and telling you about what they want, so they would regard that conversation as a very good one. So it is important to have your silence moments in the conversations as well.
Okay, perfect explanations. So we move to question 5. I like to ask about time perceptions. Are people in Pakistan punctual, or is time view more flexible?
So people in Pakistan are generally not punctual. So it's a bad habit in the Pakistani culture. They're not very punctual. So if they say they're meeting you at 10, so you think it's going to be 10:30 or 10:45. So this is a common thing in Pakistan with the general public. But yes, oftentimes the professionals are very punctual about it, and especially the people who are correlated with the forces, they are very punctual about it. So it is important that I think the timing, so it's kind of a miscommitment as well. A lot of people do talk about it here in Pakistan, that if you're saying someone that you're going to meet them at 10, so you should meet them at 10. Otherwise, just tell them that you should be there at 10:30. It's kind of a miscommitment. So it's a bad thing about our culture.
Okay, I think it's same in Malaysia too.
And this is in Malaysia.
Yes, but in about professional, we punctual. Okay.
Yes, we're supposed to be punctual, right?
Yes.
When we tell someone that we're going to meet them, we should be there. That's like a commitment that we're doing.
Yes. Okay. We move to the next questions. Let's talk about culture traditions. Can you share about some unique marriage custom in Pakistan?
Marriage customs.
It's more marriage tradition.
Traditions in marriage.
Yes.
So in marriages, it's more of a subcontinental traditions. So India and Pakistan has a lot of traditions in common, since it was once a same region, right? The subcontinent region. So a lot of things although the marriage of every Muslims are supposed to be similar throughout the world, right? Since we're one Ummah and we're following one prophet. But traditions have evolved, different kind of things have evolved throughout different regions. And for us in Pakistan and India, there are different kind of traditions. So there's this cultural thing that we do before every marriage. That's like it's called mehndi or henna. So henna is done in other countries as well. But it's a proper event here in Pakistan. And then you have, I'd say, you have a lot of functions. So in Pakistan, some people go up to the extent of having 5 to 7 functions for a wedding, and that's a lot. And generally, that does not happen. Generally, we just have 3 functions there, and that's a lot too. That's not religiously correct. According to religion, we should only have just 1 function. That's it. That's the walima, right? And it happens across cultures, because that's the one the Prophet ﷺ has guided us to do. But yet, we have a lot of different functions here happening in Pakistan.
Okay. For next questions about traditional food, what are some popular traditional dishes and clothing in Pakistan?
So Pakistan has a very vast variety of cuisines here. And especially the Desi cuisine in itself is very vast. So it's in the whole subcontinent. India, Pakistan combined has this very similar taste in cuisines. So very famous dishes there are, like, if you just go to the Hyderabad Indian Mughlais type, you have biryanis, you have kormas and stuff like that, but basically chicken curries. And then on the northern side of Pakistan, you have a totally different kind of taste. It is more more related to Afghanistan and the Arabic cuisine. So they just do no spices at all, barely minimum, like it be just frozen pepper, that's it. And it's like eating the food with the fat of the animal, right? Especially the sheep, they like cooking their food in that fat. So it's a different kind of cuisine, totally different from the Pakistani region on the northern side. And then in Punjab, we have different kind of food. The whole variety is a lot, and it varies from region to region in Pakistan.
Oh, sounds lovely. Last questions. Can you tell us about any religious practice or how family relationships are maintained in your culture?
How family relationships are mended?
Maintained in your culture.
Maintained in our culture. Any religious activity. So, again, we are all following the same prophet, right? And he has the same teachings. He taught all of us the same things. And the one thing that I learned from my father, and I saw him doing throughout his life, which kept the bond with the family alive, not just ours, but the whole family, right? Like maternal side and even a maternal side as well. And that was this thing of spending on the family. So my father is the one who's usually hosts feasts, right? And he'd spend a lot of money on good food, and he'd invite everyone over. And it's like he'd just do it for the sake of mending everyone together, building the bond for everyone. So even the Prophet taught us to do this, and he called it Sila Rahmi, right? You spend on your relatives so that the bond of love between you two would be created and get stronger, right? And he even advised us to give hadiyas, the gifts to each other as well. So yes, I think the same things have been following here in Pakistan as well. People are very hospitable in Pakistan. They spend on you if you come. They like feed you and won't ask for money. They're very hospitable in that case.
Okay. That's the last questions. Thank you so much, Mr. Shuib, for your time and insight. From what we learned, Pakistan culture values respect, family and religion deeply. Okay, so sorry I was too fast because we also short on time, right?
Yes, I am. I actually am.
So,
no worries. I hope I answered your questions well. You got what you're looking for.
Okay, sure. Thanks a lot. So, I will interview.
Thank you.
Yeah.